A watershed moment for those seeking justice for Syrian war atrocities. A German court has convicted a Syrian former secret police officer of crimes against humanity in a landmark trial. 58-year-old Anwar Raslan was charged with 58 murders as well as rape and assault. In addition, he is also charged with the torture of nearly 4,000 civilians in a jail known as Hell on Earth during Syrian President Assad clamped down on anti-government protests during the civil war. The trial in Koblenz is the world's first criminal case brought over state-led torture in Syria. Let's cross over to Berlin, where journalist Sean Williams is standing by. Sean, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Walk us through this trial and some of the victims' horrifying testimonies.
Yeah, there was hundreds of victims and witness testimony from people who'd come from Syria to Germany, a lot of them during the 2015 wave of immigration. And some of the evidence they gave was very harrowing, evidence of beatings, electric shocks, sexual assaults while in detention under the guise of Anwar Raslan. And it really is a watershed moment, not just because of the fact that this is the first Syrian case that's being prosecuted like this, but it's also a really important case for Germany, which obviously, because of its past, has made prosecuting these kinds of war crimes a cornerstone of its judicial process.
Right. Now, these crimes were committed in Syria, but the trial was held in Germany. How was this made possible?
Well, Mr. Raslan actually came to Germany. So he fled the Syrian government in 2012 after the government committed a massacre in his hometown of Homs, and he arrived in Germany 2 years later. And he was so confident that he would be given a safe passage and wouldn't be prosecuted for these crimes that he actually signed some of the documents as the, quote, colonel. So that gives you some idea of how and why he wasn't really trying to cover these things up. And the authorities actually arrested him in 2019, and the case has obviously gone on until now. So it's been a huge landmark case for everyone involved.
Do you believe we could expect other former Assad officers to be convicted?
Unlikely, to be honest. It's very hard for authorities across the world to find many people who will willingly say that they were involved in the Assad government at all, or the security forces. That obviously becomes less likely today in many ways. And really, Assad's apparatus has been shielded from so-called justice system around the world, various vetoes being laid down by China and Russia at the UN Security Council. And really, those officials don't travel outside of Syria unless they're traveling to any of the countries they're pretty sure won't give them a hard time. So I wouldn't hold my breath on any more cases being brought anytime soon.